ביאור משנה ד', explanation from משנה ד'. אין מילה דוחה שבת, אלא כשהיא נעשית בזמנה. So, circumcision doesn't trump Shabbat unless the circumcision is right on its time. How do we learn this? שנאמר, because it says, וביום השמיני ימול בשר ערלתו. And in the 8th day, his flesh should be circumcised. ודרשו, and they learned from this verse, אפילו יום השמיני חל בשבת, even if the 8th day happens to be on Shabbat, מצוותו דוחה Shabbat. The mitzvah, the commandment of circumcision, pushes away Shabbat. אבל מילה שלא בזמנה, but circumcision not in its time, היינו שלא ביום השמיני, not on the 8th day, אינה דוחה Shabbat, does not push away Shabbat. ומשנתנו דנה, במי ששגג ומל בשבת, מילה שלא בזמנה, אם הוא חייב חטאת. Our Mishnah is going to deal, person make the mistake, we're going to see what kind of mistakes he made, and after he made a mistake, does he need to bring a sin offering, or doesn't need to bring a sin offering? So let's start. First of all, how can it happen? For example, give an example. מי שהיו לו שתי תינוקות, somebody who had 2 babies, the easiest example to use over here is that 2 babies were born, let's say twins even. Twins were born.
It can be twins.
It can be, this is it. כגון מוהל שהיו לפניו 2 תינוקות. It's a mohel that were...
This is the same day.
We'll see. Like a mohel that had 2 babies. אחד למול אחר השבת. One was supposed to circumcise after Shabbat. שיום השמיני שלו חל ביום ראשון. That the 8th day happened to be on Sunday. ואחד למול בשבת. And one to circumcise on Shabbat. שזמן מילתו הייתה בשבת. For example, the woman gave birth to the first one almost on Shabbat, just before Sunday night, and the second one come. Yeah, and the second one come. זהו. So he mixed up the babies instead of circumcising. This one he circumcised the other one. Or in that time it was a little bit more common because sometimes you had 2 or 3 wives. You know, so if you had 2 wives, they can both give birth babies at the same time.
Take this baby.
Exactly, this baby. Yeah, exactly. So that's the kind of mistake. But you can see how the mistake can happen.
Yeah, it could happen.
Okay? So one was born on Shabbat, and one was born on a Sunday. And he took the one on the Sunday, and he circumcised it on Shabbat. Which means... Before its time. Which means that right now he's circumcising a 7-day-old. Okay.
Wow.
שכח ומל את שלאחר השבת בשבת. He took the one that was for Sunday and he circumcised it on Shabbat. התינוק שצריך היה למולו אחר השבת, the baby that he needed to circumcise on Sunday, הקדים אותם ומל בשבת. He circumcised it on a Shabbos. In other words, 7 days. So then everybody agrees, there's no question about it over here, חייב קורבן חטאת. He made a mistake. There was no circumcision given to the baby, not supposed to give circumcise the baby at that time. There was no mitzvah, let's call it that way. There was no mitzvah, so there's no mitzvah, Mechal Shabbat. You desecrated Shabbat for no reason.
And what the din of the tinok that you mal in 7 days and not 8 days? It's not avera or...
No, that's not a problem. On the 8th day, you just give him, a small little blood or something, and that's it. Yeah, you just do something over there on the 8th day, and that's it. Chayav korban chatat. He's obligated a sin offering. Made a mistake. Sho'il umal tinok lifnei yom hashmini. Since he circumcised the baby before the 8th day, נמצא שטעה בדבר מצווה ולא עשה מצווה. He made a mistake in a matter of a commandment, but he didn't do the commandment. He thought he was doing commandment, but he didn't. שהרי עדיין לא הגיעו זמן חיובו למול, because the time did not come to circumcise. הילקח חייב משום חילול שבת. Therefore he desecrated Shabbat, he had to bring a sin offering. That was an easy one. Now we're going to go to the hard one. אחד למול בערב שבת. One of them, the same trick happened on the Friday. Friday just before Shabbos. Same trick.
Friday before Shabbos, okay.
So one of them was born on Friday, and one of them was born on Shabbos, and he mixed the babies again. אחד למול בערב שבת שיום השמיני שלו חל בערב שבת, which means the 8th day is on a Friday, ואחד למול בשבת, and one, the 8th day is on a Shabbos, שזמן מילתו הייתה בשבת, ושכח ומלט של ערב שבת בשבת, and he took the Friday one, and he circumcised it on the Shabbos. In other words, it was the 9th day. So now comes the question. The 9th day is the...
It's not the 8th day. He should bring chata.
You think he should bring chata? But you see the difference between the other one was not time for circumcision at all. Over here, the 9th day, it's time for circumcision. It's after the 8th day.
Still, it says over there that לא דוחה שבת, רק נעשה בזמנו.
So you're reading it, it has to be on Shabbat, 8th day, it has to be only on Shabbat. Let's see. והרי זו מילה שלא בזמנה. It is exactly what you said, it's the circumcision not in its time. שאינה דוחה שבת, כמו שבארבו, it doesn't push away Shabbat, just like we explained. So, Rabbi Eliezer says exactly like you said, מחייב חטאת. He says you have to bring a sin offering. It wasn't on the 8th day. Only if it's on the 8th day you're allowed to push it away. אף על פי שטעה מתוך טרדתו בדבר מצווה. Even though over here the mistake was that he was busy doing a mitzvah, a commandment, ועשה mitzvah, and you ask me, did he do the commandment? Is the circumcision good? Does he need to do circumcision again?
No. He needs to do the blood. Maybe.
He doesn't need to do the blood. It was on the 9th day.
Oh, the 9th day. Yeah, no, it's good.
So maybe because the circumcision is good. Maybe she did. I don't know if it's doche Shabbat, but maybe he's not chayav chatas. Maybe he's not obligated to circumcision. But Rabbi Eliezer say he is still obligated. Yeah. But you see, it's not exactly the same as the other case. It's a little bit more lenient. שהרי ראוי תינוק זה לימול. This baby should be circumcised. That's right. מכל מקום, הואילו מצווה זו אינה דוחה את השבת. Nevertheless, this commandment does not push away Shabbat. לפיכך סובר רבי אליעזר שחייב עליה. Rabbi Eliezer thinks you're obligated on her. But now you can see there's another side now. And that's why Rabbi Yoshua poter. Rabbi Yoshua says you're not obligated. You did a mitzvah. And if you did a mitzvah, the mitzvah catches. See, on the baby that you circumcised on the 7th day, there was no mitzvah. Over here, there is a mitzvah. And what's the proof? You don't have to do it again. But he says, Rabbi Yoshua poter mechatat, from sin offering. He says you shouldn't do it, but at least the moel is protected from the sin offering over here. That's what he says.
Why?
שאף על פי שחילל את השבת על ידי מילה שלא בזמנה, שלא דוחה את השבת, I agree that it was a circumcision of Shabbat because there was the milah that doesn't push away Shabbat. מכל מקום, he says, this is the rule, and this is the argument between them, טעה בדבר מצווה ועשה מצווה. Somebody who is doing a commandment and he made a mistake. Does you obligate him or you don't obligate him? As long as so in the first case he didn't do a commandment at all. In the second case, Rabbi Yoshua says if you doing a commandment and you made a mistake, God is protecting you. Rabbi Eliezer says there's no protection from God. שהרי מיום שמיני ואילך יש חיוב למולו. It says, and if you think it's Rabbi Yoshua, by the way, Rabbi Yeshua makes sense. He says, he's explaining you the reason of the 8th day. It says, do you know why the 8th day is pushing away Shabbat?
Because she is chiyuv.
Because there's a mitzvah. Because there's a mitzvah. And once the mitzvah kicks in, there's no Shabbat. That's the way Rabbi Yeshua learns it. There's a mitzvah. There's a mitzvah of milah on the 8th day, on the baby. Once the mitzvah kicks in the baby, it pushes away Shabbat. Now, it's true you shouldn't do it. Once you push off, you should push it off. But if you didn't push off, since you did a mitzvah, you're fine. That's what Rabbi Yeshua.
I can learn a guy that put tefillin on Shabbos. It's a mitzvah. He made a mitzvah. Could be that he made a mitzvah, but he didn't know it's Shabbos.
No.
But he didn't have to do the tefillin on Shabbos, not like the Molly.
That's over
The
here.
mole-
There was a mitzvah. There's no mitzvah for tefilling on Shabbos.
Yeah.
Over here, there is a mitzvah.
There is a mitzvah, and Rabbi Yoshua said, because he did a mitzvah, Hashem forgive him.
That's right. That's what Rabbi Yoshua says.
Kasher, but
Yeah.
Okay.
שהרי מיום שמיני ואילך יש חיוב למולו, because it says once the 8th day comes around there's a mitzvah to circumcise the baby. Therefore הרי פטור מחטאת, he's busy doing a mitzvah, and once he's busy doing a mitzvah, even though it wasn't the right baby, there's a leniency. He doesn't have to bring a sin offering.
But in other words, if this baby have צהבת, אני לא יודע איך אומרים את זה באנגלית.
Oh, then he's obligated.
Then let's say that it finish, the צהבת finish on Friday.
Oh, we will discuss that later
To
on.
go into the Shabbos, you have to do the Shabbos, but it's not the 8th day.
Yeah.
Already the 12th day, the guy had the...
We will discuss all these cases later on. We will get to
We
it.
will, huh?
Yeah, we will discuss this. And halacha is like Rabbi Yoshua.
Okay.
The halacha is like Rabbi Yoshua, less strict than Rabbi Eliezer.